So let's hit the discussion one more time here in Benin, where we're also going to be looking at the state of the nation, NLC 30 days strike suspension, removal of VAT from diesel. Now we've got Barrister Daniel Ogbege, a public affairs analyst and also a political analyst. Daniel Ogbege, Barrister Daniel Ogbege, you're welcome.
Thanks for having me,
program. It's been quite some time on this show. Yes, we're also expecting Comrade Odion Olaye, who is the NLC chairman in Edo State. He's going to be joining us via Zoom. When we get connection with him, we shall bring him on board so that he also tell us some things about the agreement that the federal government has reached with the NLC. Now, Comrade, we've got series of the outline. I have to really go down.
I'm not Comrade.
All right, so myself again now.
Yes.
I have to really go down to really go through the MOU. It's a matter of law now. That's what NLC has said, that look, federal government, this is law. As a matter of fact, we have almost about 5 to 6 officials of the federal government, the Honorable Minister of Labor, the Director of Ministry of Labor signed and all that. They will also have the NSC chairman, the TUC chairman also signed to the MOU. Now the content, the very first one, we have a federal government to grant a wage award of 35,000 naira to all federal government workers beginning from September, pending when a new national minimum wage is expected to have been signed into law. Then we also have the one that borders on minimum wage committee shall be inaugurated within 1 month from the date of this agreement. Then also federal government will suspend collection of value-added tax from diesel for 6 months from October 2023. Federal government to accept to vote 100 billion naira for the provision of CNG buses in Nigeria, and also to provide 55,000 CNG kits to vehicles. Then we have the one that talks about that the federal government will implement various tax incentive measures for private sector and of course the general public. While we have the one that says that on the leadership crisis rocking the NUROTW and of course the purported prescription of Ritian. The federal government commits to handling labor matters in line with relevant International Labour Organization conventions and of course the Nigerian Labour Act. To this end, a resolution of the ongoing impasse will be looked into before October 13th, 2023. Then also we have the MOU that talks about outstanding salaries and wages of tertiary education workers is being referred to Ministry of Labor and Employment for further engagement. And also the federal government commits to pay 25,000 naira per month for the months starting from October to 15 million households, including vulnerable pensioners, ACT. Now, they have, I think, about 15 of the MOUs that we have that were listed out. Now, the very big question that we ask is how feasible within 30 days? We're looking at 30 days. From your point of view, Daniel, Barrister Daniel Ogbege,
I think it has to do...
You think federal government can actually provide all this before 30 days?
I think it has to do with the attitude of government to these things. I'm not sure the NLC actually wants the federal government to make all these provisions, but they're going to look at how they start, their attitude towards trying to implement the agreements they've reached. So if they commence, if they start a certain process, now they said that there will be additional 35,000 naira to federal civil servants, you know, and there will also be removal of VAT on diesel and diesel products in the next 6 months. These things are not hard to see. Once it starts in October, I'm sure the NLC will know that the federal government is actually serious. But I'm sure that this federal government is serious about making life better for Nigerians. I believe that this federal government led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is ready to make life, you know, easier for Nigerians. It's just that Nigeria has been badly beaten for so long now.
Hello?
And
yeah, just hold on. All right, good morning,
Yes,
Chief
I can
Olaye.
hear you now.
Yes, good morning, sir. Hello,
Evans.
Yeah, good morning. I can hear you loud and clear.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Nice to have you on the program.
I can hear you, Evans.
Yeah, I can hear you too.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you loud and clear. Hello? Hello? Okay. All right. So, Comrade Ola, if you can hear us, please.
Hello?
I can hear you loud
Hello?
and... Yeah, I can hear you. Just speak on.
Evans, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Hello, Chief Olai.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. So, you are on to the program now.
Yes.
All right, so we are looking at the strike now, the MOU that NLC and TUC has with the federal government.
Yes.
So what is your immediate response?
Well, my response is that we have looked at the matter critically. Our demand from the federal government, they meet up to almost about 80 or 85%. You can recollect that very day when national president, the general secretary of the two unions met with the federal government. At the time they agreed there, before they sign, they have to call emergency meeting. Following morning, we were on Zoom meeting for about 3 hours, looking at their reply. Then the NEC section now gave order to president to go and sign on behalf of the union. So we have signed that agreement, and we have suspended the strike for 30 days.
Now, you talked about 80%. Now, were you trying to say that if the government doesn't meet 80% of your request, that if by that 30 days 80% is not met, that you may have to go on strike? Was that what you were trying to say?
That's what the NEC in session agreed. That's why we gave them 30 days to see what they are up to.
Okay, but we are looking at the feasibility now, the possibility of this request that you have put before federal government. I mean, bearing in mind the economic situation that the country is now, do you think the federal government can achieve all this within the next few days?
Well, let's see. I can't predict them. And that is one of the reasons we said the agreement should go and register it in the law court.
All right. Now, you also have, as part of the MOU, the one that has to do with the leadership crisis rocking the NUROT. That's the National Union of Road Transport Workers, and of course, the purported proscription of lithium. You're saying that the government is going to ensure that it will be resolved within International Labour Organization standard. You want to comment more on that?
Yes, on that issue, there is a deadline given to the Minister of Labour to resolve that both union issue on or before 13th of October.
Then, of course, outstanding salaries and wages of tertiary education workers. Obviously, we're talking about university lecturers here. Now, the federal government has agreed that it's going to refer to Ministry of Labor now to ensure that further engagement is reached on that. Now, recall, this is not the first time. This is not the first time that we're having that situation. I mean, ASU has gone on strike several times. So what is the guarantee this time that the Ministry of Labor can resolve that for the federal government?
Yes, in the first one, the strike also have been going. They were alone. But today, I want to tell you, the affiliate union of Nigeria Labour Congress are 52 affiliate union, and that of TUC is also there. So the entire workers are the one fighting for ASU this time, so that their money must be paid. And we are also aware during the discussion, the leadership of both unions meeting with the federal government, they say it's in their budget. They promised to pay and they will pay. It's unlike when it was only ASU that was fighting that cause.
Yeah.
This time is the entire organized labor that is fighting the cause.
All right, so we're looking at the issue that has to do with ASU strike and all that. I know that this your strike is all encompassing, but recall that we've had that before. So what is the guarantee this time that this will put an end to the agitation that ASU has been clamoring for from the federal government?
One, he has come to stay. He has come to stay. There is no way this one will not work. But firstly, the new leadership we have in Nigeria Labour Congress is not the one government can buy over. And this time, we are determined. The fight the organized labor is fighting now is not only the fight of the Nigeria workers. Is the fight of the entire citizen of Nigeria. We are serious, we mean it, and we stand by our actions. And that is the reason we give them 30 days.
So if at the expiration of 30 days nothing happens, what do you think will happen?
If nothing happens, the strike will still go on.
That's all we can take from Comrade Olaye now, so that you can go back to work because you had.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, thank you. All right, so we still have Barrister Ogbege here. Now, looking at the issues at hand, do you see an end to all this?
Yeah, well, there's always not an end to strife. So long as we keep living, there'll be strife. But I like what the NLC is doing. They are trying to make sure that government, stands on a path that will make the country better, make Nigerians to live better lives. And we should also try to appreciate the fact that the current government is new. President Tinubu was sworn in barely 4 or 5 months ago. So they met a lot on ground, and the state of the country was not palatable at all.
Yeah, but you say that now, Barrister. Some other persons won't take lightly to that from you. I mean, we're talking about the same party, APC.
Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, just let me finish, please. So I said the state of the country is not the way it ought to be. We are in very unpalatable situation. First of all, because of a huge fall in crude oil price. Our economy has been dependent, almost right from independence, on crude oil and allied products. Then we also had the COVID-19 situation. So the problem of Nigeria, the economic downturn, is not exactly a problem. It's not peculiar to Nigeria. It is worldwide. If you go to Europe, if you go to America, Canada, US, there are complaints. When you even look at international media like CNN, you see Americans complaining and crying. There's economic downturn. But beyond that was that, of course, there were also a lot of mismanagement in previous governments in Nigeria. So
APC probably
there was PDP. There was PDP government. APC excuse me, sir, please. No, you don't force me to talk about what you want me to talk about. I'm telling you that there were situations.
A government that handed over to another.
I'm not talking about just one government. There have been successive governments, and we've had a lot of mismanagement from successive governments. There's hardly any government in Nigeria that we end that we won't get to see so much information about the mismanagement and corruption that went on in that government.
We can go on
and on. There are previous governments. Please, you want me to blame APC? No, don't do that, please.
No, I'm not.
The point is that I'm talking generally. I don't want to. We are in this country. We know that there have been successive governments that have poorly managed the country over the years. There are millions of Nigerians. I'm saying that the point I'm making, Evans, is that the government is new, and Nigerians should be patient. Let's watch the direction of the government. You cannot just start hitting or blaming a government right from the get-go. You cannot just start blaming a government that is not even up to 5 months for the decades of decay that we've had. So if we give them opportunity, like for instance now, you see the chairman of NLC in Edo State, it was almost at the point of praising the government that the government was able to meet 85% of their demands. So they want to watch their implementation for the next 1 month.
What he said.
No, you didn't get it. No, wait now. No, you didn't get what he said. He said the government has made 85% of their demands. They want to watch.
I asked him. I said,
they want to watch. They are giving them 1 month to see their implementation.
No, what he said is this. He said, if the government does not meet up to 80%.
No. You didn't get him, Evans. There's a preconceived. There's a preconceived. You have a preconceived mindset on this.
No, you can't say that.
As a journalist, you cannot do that, please. Now, what he said was very clear. That the government has met 85% of their demands. What are their demands? They had an agreement, and the government was able to agree with them 85% of what they negotiated for. So they want to use the next 1 month. They want to use the next 1 month to find out if the government is able to implement this agreement.
If they have, the question I put to you again now is that if they have reached 85% of what they've been asking for, so they need another 1 more to see if the government will implement.
Implementation. Do you implement in 1 day? If the agreement was made this week, will they see the implementation immediately this week? No. Okay. They want to see the implementation of these agreements. Okay, but now when you have 2 parties, they are meeting, they are negotiating to agree on certain points, and they are able to meet 85%. And maybe the other 15% say, no, we cannot agree to this. But, okay, for this, we can agree to this.
So it is
what Comrade Olaye has said is that the government will be able to meet 85% of those demands that they had, and they are giving them 1 month to see the implementation. It's very clear what he said.
What is the difference between meeting a demand and implementing it?
When you meet a demand, this is pure grammar now. You are able to agree 85%. Let's you have 100 demands, and the government agree 85% of those demands. They agree with NLC. Now that's the point. So they are giving them 1 month to see the implementation.
The MOU we have now.
Yes.
The MOU that Nigerians have now. The MOU, about 14, 15, 16 of them that they even had to sign about a few days ago. The MOU that Nigerians have now with them, we didn't have this MOU before now. Now, these are the agreements on the ground that NSC and TUC have said, okay, let us suspend the strike will not go on. Now, you are talking about implementation. It's as if you are talking about we had this situation on ground before now. Did we have this MOU before now? Is that what you're saying?
I never said that.
But
the point I made is so clear that if they had demands, 100 for instance, Evans, and the government agree with them, 85% of those demands. Agree on 85%.
Agree to do
that. Yes, they want to give them 1 month to see how they set up machineries to implement what they've agreed on.
Okay, so from your own point of view,
let's not belabor this thing, Evans,
from your point of view,
the point is, let us now watch the government, what they do in the next 1 month. And Comrade Olaye said just now that if they see that the implementation is poor, or they are not implementing those things that they agreed on, then they will go back to strike. That's what he said.
Okay. Now, let me take your mind back to what you were trying to say, because I don't belong to any of these political parties and all that, but we have to talk to Nigerians so that we can carry everybody along.
Yes.
Now, a while ago, you said that the government is just about barely some few months old.
Yes.
That was when I even asked you.
Yes.
We're talking about a particular party now.
Yes.
You cannot
It's not about party. It's not about party. Now, one thing I need to correct very quickly.
Nigerians will
one
look at
thing
it.
I need to correct quickly.
I have the floor
okay.
now. Nigerians will look at it that, look, it is the APC that is causing what we are going through. That's the way some Nigerians see it. Even if maybe some politicians may have to say that PDP and all that. We're talking about over 20 years ago. If we still make recourse to PDP, that's far about 20 years ago. So the question I'm asking now, are we trying to say, or are you trying to say that perhaps the APC left a kind of a dilapidated country for an APC government? Is that what we're trying to say?
Okay, thank you. I hope you are able to allow me to speak to the issues that you are trying to raise.
You are very free.
Thank you. Now, in Nigeria, it is not about the political party. It is about the individual in government. That's the reason why you can have Mr. A from party A disagreeing with Mr. B from party A on fundamental issues and programs. Or Mr. A can have a diametrically opposed policy to implement while in government from what Mr. B did. Now, we were in this country and we know that the body language of, for instance, the former president, Buhari, who was an APC president, was that he did not support the current president.
Well,
His own member of his own member. Sorry, please. That's why I said, if you will allow me speak,
okay,
then you ask the question, I will speak. You're not going to constrain me to say what you want to hear.
No, I won't constrain you.
That's the point.
But
so let me finish.
We have to speak true to the issue.
The
present president now was a leader. He was a leader
Evans,
in the APC.
You called me to speak to this thing.
Of course.
You're not going to be arguing with me. I'm speaking. You can ask your question. You allow me to finish.
Of course, I'm allowing you to finish.
Thank you.
We have to say it in a certain way, in a way
that you want.
That Nigerians will accept.
No, in the way that you want.
Not the way I want. The way Nigerians will want it.
Evans, maybe you should be alone here and speak to Nigerians.
No, you can't do that.
Look, I'm going to speak, and you cannot constrain me to speak the way you want.
You have the floor.
Please. So the point I'm making is that this is a totally different government from the previous government. And I have said that the government is new. Of course, every government is a continuation of successive government, whether PDP or APC or Labour. Once you take over, you continue from where that one stopped. But you can be fundamentally different in character. You can be fundamentally different in policy and programs. We all know that Tinubu, of course, is different in complexion, in character from Buhari. And you see the way he has been able to engage with organized labor, and there's a smooth sail in terms of being able to meet on critical issues that affect Nigerians and Nigerian workers. Not just Nigerian workers alone, but Nigerians generally. So, we want this country to succeed. If this country succeeds, it is not about APC or about Tinubu. It is about us as Nigerians being given the opportunity to prosper in our country.
Now, if I say now, you say maybe I'm being political. Now, Nigerians are looking at the manifesto.
Yes.
That the APC,
yes,
the 8 years APC of former President Muhammadu Buhari, the manifesto that they told Nigerians, what they told Nigerians that they were going to revive the economy. They told Nigerians that they were going to refurbish the dilapidated, refineries. Of course, this same APC government now, that was what they told Nigerians. And Nigerians are not saying that. That's what we're saying.
Evans, are you really sincere about finding solutions? Now, the reason why Tinubu was voted by Nigerians is because they want a difference from the old order.
Yeah.
They want a difference.
Yeah.
Now, if you are still blaming APC government for fake promises that they made over 8 years ago.
So
when that president that was elected is no more there, and there's a new president.
What
Why not judge this new president based on no, Evans, please.
Take it down. What
difference? Going back to Buhari. Buhari is no more there.
What difference?
Now, please.
What difference are you talking about now? What difference?
Evans, there's a new president.
You think Nigerians
and he has
are happy
made
for
promises. Why not look at the promises he has made? If he's able to fulfill the promises. Now, for instance, he said he's going to work on Port Harcourt refinery. Now, why not find out what are they doing in Port Harcourt refinery to meet that promise that Tinubu made? Why are you talking about promise that Buhari made in 2015? We should be talking about promise that Tinubu made in 2023. Now, Tinubu has said that I will make Port Harcourt refinery to work by December. They start following up. Yesterday, I was looking at it. I saw the massive work being done in Port Harcourt refinery to bring it back to life. So why not look at that? Why not look at what Tinubu is doing? Why not look at whether Tinubu is able to fulfill his agreement with the Nigeria Labour Congress?
Okay.
Why not look at whether Tinubu is able to fulfill his agreement with ASU? Why not look at whether Tinubu is able to fulfill his promise to make finances available to small and medium enterprises in Nigeria? So judge him by his own record, by the record of his own government. Not the government of Buhari that is no more there.
Okay.
So because when you are bringing government of Buhari, it will appear to me that you are being unduly partisan.
I told you
with due respect.
I told you
that's what people will see. Because we are talking about Tinubu and his agreement with ASU. You are talking about the promises that Buhari made 15 years ago.
I told you a while ago, I don't belong to any of the political party.
Because I was in the studio in 2015 to oppose Buhari. I opposed Buhari in 2015. I opposed Buhari in 2019.
You hold on.
But today, I support Tinubu because I believe in what he can do. And I'm telling Nigerians, this man was sworn in less than 5 months ago. And he has made these policy statements. He has said he will do A, B, C.
You have said
so
that.
we are going to give you opportunity to
that,
see if he's going to do all these things.
You said that times without number. Now, I'm so happy that within the next 30 days, all these things that we are talking about now, they are going to come into fruition. I think Nigerians will actually know.
That's what we should be talking about.
Within the next 30 days. If after 30 days, Tinubu, I have list of the MOU that he signed, that his representative signed. Minister of Labour, the Director, Minister of Labour, they all signed and all that. Now, if after 30 days, Tinubu cannot bring all this to bear to Nigerians, then of course, perhaps I may have to invite you here.
I will come. But how about if he can bring it to fruition? Will you also invite me?
Fine, I will invite you.
That's
now,
the point.
If after 30 days, now listen now, if after 30 days the federal government can grant wage award of 35,000 naira to federal government workers, beginning from September, they are backdating it now, pending when a new national minimum wage is expected to be signed. If after 30 days, federal government workers can earn 35,000 naira addition to their salary, then I'll take you for it. Then, of course, if after 30 days, a minimum wage committee will be inaugurated within 1 month from the date of this agreement, the agreement that they reached 2 days ago, if after 30 days that committee is inaugurated, I'll take you for it. Then, of course, if after 30 days, the federal government suspends a collection of value-added tax on diesel, now that's, for most Nigerians now, that was why, hold it now, you hold it now, you hold on. That was why I said, we come here, we say what we need to say, what we have to say, but Nigerians are watching, they are listening. Now, a lot of Nigerians have heard that VAT has been removed from diesel, but as we speak now,
when was VAT removed from diesel?
Okay, let's say last week. The question I put for that now, how much is the price of diesel now?
I don't buy diesel, I don't know. But,
okay, but
what we should be talking
I'll tell you
about,
for free. A price of diesel is 1,000. You won't get a price of diesel anywhere less than 1,000.
I don't know, but it's hard for me to even believe you because you have just shown to me now that you are in opposition.
No, that's not true.
Even as a journalist.
No, that's not true.
Because even as a position, whether you are opposition or not, it shouldn't really mean much. But even as opposition, we must not be blind to truth. We will not be blind to fact. We all want Nigeria to work. And if Nigeria work, it will work for all of us.
Beautiful. I told you that I'll give you the 30 days.
Let's not be unduly pessimistic.
Yeah, I told you that I will give you that for free. The window opportunity is also running for you too. After 30 days, if we don't realize this thing,
that is the point. That is what we should be focused on.
But
and we must put pressure. We must put pressure on the government.
Let me ask this question.
Whether we support government or we oppose government, but we must put pressure on the government to do what is right.
And let me ask you the question now as we try to draw conclusion on this program now. One more last question, just 30 seconds. Now, what do you think is going on in the country? That other nations, maybe, you talked about COVID-19 a while ago, other nations may have recovered. Why has Nigeria not recovered?
No country in the world has recovered. Nigeria is being insulated from the global economy. But I also know that, of course, we have mismanagement in Nigeria.
Okay.
And our government officials, they live unduly opulent lifestyles, and we subsidize those people in government. The ordinary Nigerian citizens subsidize people in government. That must stop. We must be able to watch government. Now, for instance, why should a government need more than 2 or 3 vehicles? Why should the president need more than 2 or 3 vehicles? Why should a local government chairman even need more than 1 vehicle to use per time? Okay. And here in this country, you see councillors, you see ministers, commissioners, they live the kind of opulent lifestyle that, I mean, that you just be shocked. Okay. Government has to be more accountable to the people, and there has to be more transparency.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate your time.
I appreciate you inviting me here.
I'm not political.
No, you are political, but you may not be partisan.
I'm not.
No, everybody is political.
I'm not even partisan.
No, I said you might not be partisan.
In any way,
you are political.
In any way you mean
being
it
political
now,
is not. There's no negative about being political.
In any way you mean it. I'm not partisan.
Yeah, we must put pressure on government to do what is right.
All right, thank you so much, Vice.
Thank you.
So that's all time will permit us to take today on the program.